Today marks 3 years since Russia launched its unprovoked full-scale war on Ukraine. The Wall Street Journal estimated that over 1 million troops in total had been wounded or killed as of this fall. According to the UN Refugee Agency, nearly 7 million refugees from Ukraine have been recorded globally since 2022. Last night, on the eve of the third anniversary, Russia launched what Ukrainian President Zelensky is calling the largest drone attack since the start of the war. Ukraine's Air Force says 138 drones were shot down, while over 100 more dropped from the radar after being jammed by defensive electronics. According to Ukraine, Russia also launched 3 ballistic missiles with damage reported in 5 different regions. Meanwhile, Ukraine is pushing back against an even more outlandish U.S. proposal for its natural resources, with President Zelensky rejecting demands that would see Kyiv handing over half its resource revenues to a U.S.-controlled fund until it reaches $500 billion. The latest draft, tougher than the last, also demanding Ukraine repay the U.S. double any future aid it receives, all without firm security guarantees. Zelensky also hit back at President Trump's comments, calling him a dictator. He said yesterday he's willing to resign from his post in exchange for peace in Ukraine or NATO membership. Zelensky also announced a summit of European leaders will be held today in Ukraine, and officials from 27 EU countries will hold an emergency meeting once again next week to discuss support for Ukraine. Joining us now, retired CIA officer Mark Polymeropoulos. He's an NBC News security and intelligence analyst. Mark, you've been following this war for years now, and we often talk about Ukraine's resilience. But can you also talk about the role that U.S. and European aid has had in getting them to this point, consistently the underdog?
Well, Ali, let's be clear. The U.S. has provided, $100 billion. And when you think about it, it's an incredible investment.
Yeah.
Russia is an enemy of the United States. Let's be very clear on that. If you remember when Russia was paying bounties to the Taliban to kill our soldiers in Afghanistan. But for $100 billion, what have we done? We've helped the Ukrainians attrit 50% of the Russian military, sink nearly their entire Black Sea fleet. So, in fact, Ukraine is doing us a favor in this notion, and this has to do with the mineral deal, that somehow that Ukraine should be thankful to the United States. I think it's the other way around. I think we should be thanking Ukraine. And in my view, this mineral deal is simply extortion.
Well, we've also seen Zelensky say he's going to hold a firm line on that he doesn't want to be putting future Ukrainian leaders in the position of having decades worth of payments to make back to the United States, especially when that $500 billion number far exceeds the amount of aid that the U.S. has actually put into the country so far. He's holding a hard line. He's saying, I'll step down if it means I can get my country into NATO or we can find an end to this war. What do you make of this posture that Zelensky is now taking amid an onslaught from the president of the United States?
Well, right. And Ali, I think actually Zelensky's popularity in Ukraine is rising. He's standing up to a bully. He's actually saying, look, if we received security guarantees from NATO, I'll step down. He's not a dictator, of course.
And the bully in this case, I think, is important to point out. We're not talking about Putin.
Is Trump. Is Trump. And so I think Zelensky is posturing himself correctly. I think the real question is, if these negotiations go on with the mineral deal, what are the security guarantees? I don't think we've seen what exactly they would be. And more importantly, can Europe step up? Zelensky can afford to be fighting back against the U.S. And in many ways, I think a lot of us understand what he's doing. But Europe has got to be the one to then come in and say, look, if the U.S. is not going to be there for you, we will.
And we've seen them do these kinds of group emergency meetings over the course of the last 2 weeks, as the landscape has really just been shifting under them with the new Trump administration. I want to talk, though, about a piece that you put on MSNBC.com this weekend. You say, I'm a former U.S. intelligence officer. Trump's Ukraine betrayal will have terrible consequences. Detail those.
Sure. So, Ali, I wrote this because I was a practitioner. I was a case officer for the CIA. And what does that mean? It means we work with indigenous forces, whether it's Afghans in Afghanistan, whether it's Iraqi Kurds in Syria. So we break bread with them. We are with them through thick and thin. There's almost this personal relationship you develop. And so there is a feeling of betrayal. How do we look at our Ukrainian allies in the face on this? But I think there's a bigger picture here is who's going to trust us in the future? America's supposed to be the bright, shining city on the hill. But if we walk away from Ukraine and, in fact, switch sides, I think when it comes to issues such as China, Taiwan, and other places, will Taiwan look to us to come in as the knight in shining armor? They won't. And so we're losing trust. And I think there's a giant crisis in U.S. credibility around the world now.
And we heard that same credibility question be raised after that chaotic and tragic withdrawal from Afghanistan. Right. Now to see it be raised again under a different administration. it really does speak to United States credibility across the world. Mark Polymeropoulos, thank you for your insight and your expertise.